This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast, with original independent science fiction, written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the science fiction podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma, and I've got Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her, part of the Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus, on this episode of Glow in the Dark Radio. Alibi Jones is on the planet Kismet, where he's not supposed to be. He's been told if he is discovered there, he's a dead man, so yeah, there's that. He's trying to free his apparently former girlfriend, Katie Ramsey, his definitely former friend, Kit the detour, both with the help of hired gun Brady Thomas. Both are being held by Lavalure, the guy who owns the planet Kismet. They've rounded up Katie, and now they await Kit at the small exercise yard his captors have been bringing him to each day, according to intel obtained by Thomas. So while we wait, in this chapter we're going to check in on the Ancient Enemy, on Azhumet. It's a little detour into darkness. We're about to discover what Alibi Jones's recovery of the Travel Chair of Enokata has enabled Azhumet to construct. What has Alibi done? We're about to find out in Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her, coming up on Glow in the Dark Radio. I want to thank patrons for helping to support Glow in the Dark Radio, and encourage you to do so. Become a patron if you can, and you can even do that for free, if you'd like. But there's also the $2, $5, and $10 a month levels, which are basically crowdfunding the podcast and help me do what I do without running ads and all the other stuff you hear on other podcasts. All I do is I run promos, and the same promos pretty much I've been running for a very long time for some friends' podcasts. So that's all you get from me besides the actual content. And so if you'd like to support that, please head to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And you can become a member for $2, $5, or $10 a month and help keep the podcast glowing. Sorry. But thank you. And thank you to those of you who do. And a big thank you to everybody at the Pecumtuck Homelands Festival and the Nolambika Project. That's where I was last weekend, and that was an incredible success. We had fantastic weather both days. We were right down on the Connecticut River in Turners Falls, Massachusetts. And I did a presentation each day on our Ancient Stone Mysteries of New England and talked about my book. I sold all the copies of my book that I brought with me. People were checking for where they could buy it online, so I've been selling even more as a result. And it was just an incredible weekend. And my thanks again to Diane Dix and the Nolambika Project for inviting me to be a part of that. And thank you to everybody who was helping to put that on, and to all the volunteers, because the volunteers helped me with my stuff. So it was a really great weekend. And again, thank you to everybody who came out and said hello and was a part of the festivities. Up next, we're going to get into Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her, part of the Adventures of Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus on Glow in the Dark Radio.
Hi, I'm Nukchas, the host of Nutty Bites.
And hi, I'm Tech, Nutty's regular guest.
Or antagonist. Our podcast is like a call-in show where geeks get to debate topics about speculative fiction.
We don't really debate.
Sure we do. We debate topics such as lame superpowers, the best villains, and our favorite apocalypses.
We more like rant, rave, and then have massive nerd rages.
People call in from all over the world, sometimes minor celebrities, and we've even had some supervillains show up.
Do you ever notice that you never have any superheroes or good guys?
I'm a good guy.
Compared to what?
Antagonist. Not really a guest. Nutty Bites. Nimlast.org.
Now here's Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her on Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. The day Azhumet has been waiting for has finally come. The Travel Chair of Enokata has been disassembled, its materials incorporated into the vast new Time Catcher array constructed by Azhumet and his servants. Built into the framework of an old cargo ship, the array reaches out and envelops each of the new bodies created by Azhumet in its network. The new bodies are prepared, the cargo hold is full, the new bodies wired into the array, each body to be filled with the bioelectrical essence of one of the elite of the people. The time catcher will draw the bioelectrical matrices of the elite in out of the chaos of the time stream, and bring them home to reside in new physical forms. It is Azhumet's grandest invention, a great achievement, given it has been constructed in this time of primitive tools, relative stone knives and flint. The people shall soon live again, Azhumet says to himself and those servants around him. Azhumet rubs his head. The strain has been immense. Though close to the perfection of form attained in the bodies of the people, these re-engineered forms are not quite all they should be. They break down. Azhumet hopes the rest of the elite can help with the re-engineering, help him to perfect their forms. But first, he must bring them back. The calculations have taken some time. His original estimates were off after 1,000,000 years. Distances were not quite as they should have been, not exactly as he'd calculated. Space itself did not behave exactly as they had theorized. They had been so sure, so certain, but it seemed to be wavier? No matter, Azhumet says, as he finishes the final preparations for the activation of the array. He turns on the recorder to document his work, just in case. I have modified my travel engines to work on a much larger scale. The entire ship is a travel machine, a bioenergy matrix time stream extraction and focusing device. The workings from the travel chair will help me focus the energies, propel each matrix into its own form. Azhumet's servants maneuver the ship into the proper position. 1,000,000 years ago, the home planet of those now known as the Ancient Enemy occupied this space. But the universe is in constant motion. The star their planet once orbited now long gone and moved on, far, far away. The bioelectrical matrices of the elite of the people have moved through time but not through space, and so Azhumet has built a mobile travel machine to go to where he can find the bioenergies of the people. Deep space. 1,000,000 years ago there were planets here. 1,000,000 years ago this was the center of the known universe. But time and the stars move on. The souls, as some might call them, the bioenergies of the elite of the people, have shifted some. Azhumet is trying to locate the tachyon signatures as he moves the old cargo ship around through the area where his home once was. Still not correct. What else could be off? Azhumet wonders. He does have worries. He has had to rely on human technology and other existing tech of this time more than he would have liked. Each place the inferior tech is employed is a weak spot in his creation. "There is so little of use at this time," Azhumet laments to himself. "I just need you to work." Azhumet moves the ship, the bioenergy extraction focuser, through deep space, trawling for souls, looking for some sign of the tachyon traces that would indicate the presence of the energies he seeks. The process has taken weeks. Azhumet has waited over 1,000,000 years. He should have patience, but the search is making him grow impatient. Finally, Azhumet discovers the traces of tachyon energy he's been seeking. "Engage the array," he bellows at his servants. The ship begins to hum with energy. Massive power is generated and channeled by the devices of the Ancient Enemy extracted from the Travel Chair. Blue energy surrounds, crackles, and swarms over and across the ship's hull. The entire ship turns into one of Azhumet's travel machines. Azhumet turns on the travel engine. He begins drawing down the souls, the bioelectrical energy matrices of the elite of the people, preparing to channel their bioenergies into the bodies prepared for them. The array crackles with the massive energies present. The souls, the energy matrices, begin to gather around the ship. The air grows heavy with presence, the feel of a crowd, the swarm of spirits. Azhumet can feel the energies of his people gather round him. Something is wrong, but Azhumet does not notice it at first. Then he realizes the energies are focusing, but they are not going into the bodies he has prepared for them. Something is wrong? Azhumet orders his servants to try his backup power connections. The array is disconnected from the bodies. The bioenergies of the elite of the people continue to be extracted from the tachyon-powered realm they've been inhabiting. The energies gather with nowhere to go. As the servants reconnect the array, the unthinkable happens. A massive short rips through the array. One by one, the bodies prepared by Azhumet are electrocuted. One by one, the receptacles he has prepared for the energies of the elite of the people are destroyed. Yet the other part of the experiment continues. The travel machine continues to pluck their energies, their essences, out of the chaos of the time stream. Still, the bioenergies of the people are drawn down into this time. Azhumet struggles to reconfigure the array, to try to salvage some part of his grand design. Despite his best efforts, the bodies die, but the souls do not. There are now 100 lost souls crashing in on Azhumet, and he has nowhere to put them. The brilliant blue lightning energies swarm around the ship, the network, the array, teeming now with the energies of the elite of the people. They have nowhere to go. There is but one living body capable of sustaining any one of them, and it currently belongs to Azhumet. But some who have gathered possess greater will than he, and, disembodied for ages, their urge for corporeality is a strong and undeniable drive. Old souls emerging from the time stream begin to take over Azhumet's body and mind. One by one, the powerful personalities of those he once called contemporaries grab hold. "I am Tigon, who subdued the willful race known as the Got." "No, I am Bindal, the surgeon, who tied the servants' lives to the spark of the people." "I am the leader. I will not be denied." On and on they come. Each takes momentary possession of the single body, the single mind available to them. None willingly relinquish control. Soon the one vessel is filled by a multitude. Azhumet is soon no more. There is only the elite of the people. The body is burned out in an hour, no longer capable of containing life energy. Seeking a seat for their sentience, the elite of the people's energies swarm the ship's computer. The artificial memory proves far too limited. The entire ship soon disintegrates. Alone, and yet a chorus, a legion, the consciousness of the elite of the people, those some call the Ancient Enemy, congeals in deep space. Not as planned, as new people, but instead as a mass of bioelectrical energies. In this utter isolation, it seethes and grows more malevolent, even mad, an evil force. The bioelectrical energies hang together without biology, as a bodiless ancient consciousness, a legion of lost souls now loose, collapsing and coalescing and churning in on itself. It is confusion, anger, loneliness, hatred, longing. Most of all, it is hungry. That was Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her on Glow in the Dark Radio. Well, that can't be good. A massive malevolent matrix of bioelectrical energies mashed together and denied corporeal form. Accidentally created by Azhumet, who seemingly is no more. We're going to leave that seething, surging cloud of souls in deep space for now. We're heading back to Kismet, where Alibi, Brady Thomas, and Katie are waiting for Kit and Escape on our next episode. Again, thank you to patrons who help keep the podcast going. And if you want to become one, just head on over to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And you can do so for $2, $5, or $10 a month. And again, a big thank you to everybody involved with the Pecumtuck Homelands Festival last weekend in Turners Falls, Massachusetts. It was a huge success, and it was a great event. Very proud and happy to be a part of that. And so, once again, thank you to Diane Dix and the Nolambika Project for inviting me to be a part of it, and to everybody who came out and talked and said hello and picked up the book, Ancient Stone Mysteries of New England. It was quite a good time. It was quite an event. So again, thank you. And that is all for this week. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow in the Dark Radio. Glow in the Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2025 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License, CC by NC-ND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.